Welcome, it's Camille and the Studio Birds here with another tutorial. This one on how to make a book, a pop-up book. This one is fish. You pop it up, hook it together. Nice little pop-up. And it has a case. The case is made without any glue, simple folds. This is a nice, easy beginner project. So, to begin, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need my PDF that you can get on my Etsy site, which you can see at the bottom of the comment section there. It comes with a PDF with directions, 4 pages of that, as well as the different PDFs for the case, as well as the book, and as well as the cover. Along with that, you'll need just a few materials. You're going to need something to cut it out with. You'll need a Teflon or bone folder to help with folds. And you'll need some glue, whether you use a glue stick or I like to use PVA. And I like to use some sort of a straight edge so that you can cut out and it'll be nice, crisp, straight line. So, to begin, we're going to go ahead and start with the case and the book. And what we'll be doing here is we're going to score it and then cut it out. And to score it just means you're going to use the dashed lines and score, which just means go over an area that you're later going to fold. So we'll first score the book. 3 folds, use the dashed line, line them up, and then go over it with your bone folder. And then we'll do the same thing for the case. And the case has quite a few lines, but you're going to use the same principle. You're going to just connect those dashed lines and go over it with your bone folder. A little bit of tape there. Okay, now we're ready to cut out both of our pieces, and you're just going to basically cut the outlines of the book and the case. And I'll do the case first. You need to make sure that you just follow those lines. Now when you get the PDF for the book, there's actually the front and the back, so it looks nicely finished. So you need to make sure that you print it on one sheet of paper, front and back. We're going to go ahead and start with the folding. We're going to fold the book in half, and you've got a nice scored line that you can already work with. And I'm going to press that fold down with the Teflon folder. Then we're going to fold each of the sides into the middle and burnish those folds. And all these are scored, which makes it much easier. And then we're ready to cut the cutout. The cutout is actually made of 2 fish, and you're going to follow along the white area here. I like to come in just a tad so that you're only cutting on the white area and they cut out nice and cleanly. You're going to cut the whole area except for these 2 hinges, which are marked by a bright green line, and those will act as hinges for the pop-up. So don't cut this area or this area, and go ahead and do that on some sort of a self-healing mat or maybe some scratch mat board. Now, anytime you use a blade cut, you need to kind of just check to make sure that you've gotten all of the areas cut. And sometimes you need to just go over a certain point a little more. And the last cut that you want to do is this little notch right here. You want to just cut that so that the other fish can fit in there. So then when you're ready, you're going to, I like to just burnish these little hinges so that it folds a little easier. And then you're going to just open them up and make that fold. Press it down. And then when you open it up, you can put it together, and that just goes right into that little groove there. You can see that. When you close the book, you need to make sure that you remove that and flatten them back out again. So we're going to go ahead and close the book and burnish these folds. And I like to set them under something heavy, books or weight of some kind, just to kind of press that nice and flat. Let's go to the case now. For the case, what we're going to do to start out is we're going to crease all the folds that we made with the bone folder. So we scored these, and now we're just going to come back and we're just going to crease them. It just makes the box come together better, and it just makes it nice and even and straight. So if we fold those in advance and press them, we'll just end up with a finished product that is a little more polished and professional looking. So I'm just going to each of those, and I'm making those folds. And then the bottom fold, there's two of them, and you want to make sure this one gets folded and then pressed. So we'll just lay that down and use my Teflon folder to press that, and do the same thing for the other fold at the bottom of the box. I want that to be nice and even. Got to work it a little bit. That's okay. No hurry. And then press that so you have a nice bottom. So to start out with folding your case, no glue needed here. All you do is fold down the first top flap and fold down the second top flap, and then bring up those sides. And so you see that you have the bottom here, and you bring up the sides, and then right here at either end is a little flap, and that flap goes into that slot that you created when you folded that top flap down. So you're just going to slip it in, and I kind of use my hand and bend it a little bit to kind of ease it into that slot. You need to kind of work it a little bit, and then just push it all the way in till you get to the side. There. And there's your case. So let's go ahead and get the book cover ready. We have the case cover pattern here, and we just need to cut out that. And on your materials list, I neglected to mention that you need to have 2 pieces of board cut out, and you can use the back of a sketchbook or compressed cardboard. You can use binder's board, whatever you prefer, and the measurements are below for this. And you're going to just cover these boards with the cover material. I like to use glue and a brush. You can choose to do it however you want, and put a nice thin layer of glue on the board, and then use your bone folder to smooth out that glued area. I like to just center it on the cover material. Now I did something that I do not like to do, and that is spill glue, and you'll want to get rid of that as soon as possible because it's always something that you will regret later. Get rid of any spilled glue. Okay, now we're ready to actually do the turn-ins, and that's when we kind of create a finished edge on the cover. You're going to cut off a triangle on each corner. You want to leave a little bit of room between the end of the board and the triangle there. Don't cut all the way up to the cardboard. You want to have just a little bit of room. And now we're going to glue those turn-ins. So all we do is apply glue to the edge of the board here, as well as the flap, and then turn them under and press them down. And you want to do that all the way around. Now we're ready to attach our book to our covers, and to do that it's real simple. All we do is start out with putting glue on the front side of the book, and with this there's no right side up, which is awesome, so you don't have to worry about getting it in upside down. Just put glue on that. I like to get all the way to the outside edges with my glue. And then you're going to center your book on your cover. Okay, and then I like to burnish. And then we'll do the same thing with the other cover. We'll apply the glue to the book. Nice thin layer. Make sure you go all the way to the outside edge. And then we'll center that one on top. I like to center it so that it lines up with the other cover. And then just kind of check if that's going to work. Looks like it needs to be just moved down just a titch. And there you have your pop-up book. You can set it right up, open it up, put your little flap in there, and you have your own, oops, you have your own pop-up book. There it is. And when you're ready, you can take it apart, put it back together, and slip it into its little case. Thanks for watching.